Smith. To say that my life on dry land is a hectic one would be an understatement. I'm a single father raising my 3 wonderful children on my own. I encourage and support my children working part-time as well as caring for my eldest son who has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is caused by abnormal development of the brain or damage to the developing brain that affects a child's ability to control his or her muscles. What is important to me is giving my children an opportunity to bond with nature. When children come into contact with nature, they reveal their inner strengths. And there is nothing more special than experiencing the natural world and cherishing quality time with my family. My love of the sea and the rivers and everything nautical sprang to life in the mid to late 90s when I worked as a photographer on board cruise ships travelling the world. Being a keen photographer since the age of 15, my skills as a landscape photographer have been recognised both nationally and internationally, and my photography has been published in various books and magazines worldwide. Owning a river cruiser has been a burning ambition of mine, and I fell in love with Teasel the minute I laid eyes on her. The beautiful, unspoiled River Nene has become my playground, the place I can escape and relax, my source of inspiration, my place where my best and happiest memories are made.
Boating, riverside scenery and photography. What more could you want?
In episode 4, I managed to find the River Nene's most westerly source, near the village of Badby, close to Daventry. The river runs for 91 miles through Northamptonshire in the Midlands, Cambridgeshire, Norfolk and Lincolnshire, to the sea at the Wash. Crosskeys Bridge is a swing bridge that spans the tidal River Nene in Sutton Bridge, Lincolnshire. When it was built in 1897, it was the 3rd bridge to cross the Nene in Sutton Bridge. The bridge is still in use today, carrying the busy A17 between Lincolnshire and Norfolk. It was originally a dual-purpose bridge serving the Midland and Great Northern Joint Railway Company on what is now the westbound carriageway, and the road was on the eastbound side. The railway line was closed in 1965 and the bridge took on its present-day use as a road bridge. It is such an incredible and amazing sight to see the swing bridge in full operation when the River Nene is at high tide and large ships can sail through. It really is a wonderful sight watching these large ships cruising past. Stretching to the east and the north was a vast, fast-flowing expanse of marshes known as Crosskeys Wash, through which the River Nene wound its way to the sea. The whole area is composed of sand and silt, shifting regularly as the water cut new channels. Well, this is the Wash National Nature Reserve that I'm on, and it's really quite difficult and quite challenging to get a photograph here because the area is just so flat and so desolate. It's an absolutely amazing place to be though, because it's so quiet. It's fantastic. The Wash, an outstanding shallow bay that rims West Norfolk and opens into the North Sea, is about 20 kilometres wide and 30 kilometres long, making it the largest estuary system in the United Kingdom. I have to say that is such a welcome sight behind me, seeing the sun rising, because it's freezing, but it's absolutely beautiful in its own very isolated way. It's lovely, it's so stunning. So nice to see a sunrise as well. Wow. Look at these. From muddy tidal creeks to rolling sand dunes, and from farms to ports, there is such diversity here. There are lots of types of habitats for wild plants and animals, salt marshes, saline lagoons, shingle banks and sand dunes. Okay, you can just see behind me, there's a mound just there, and then there's two posts just there. Those two posts are the very end of the River Nene, and then it goes out to the wash, to the sea, to the North Sea. It is teeming with wildlife, with so much to see whatever the season. It's a winter feeding ground for over 300,000 visiting water birds, waders and wildfowl, more than any other place in the UK. And the Wash is home to more common seals than anywhere else in the UK, and baby seals are born on the sandbanks during the winter months. You can only imagine what it was like for King John to come across these marshes with horses and carriages carrying his treasure. It's no wonder he got stuck. It was recorded that King John's crown jewels and other valuable crown possessions were lost in marshlands when the horse-drawn baggage train of his army attempted to cross without a guide the causeway and the ford across the mouth of the Welsh stream. I can only imagine what it was like in King John's time, walking across these marshes, bringing horses and carriages, and I'm not surprised that he lost his treasure. He very wisely took the long route down to Wisbech, but his entourage or his men went across all the marshes, and even I'm finding it difficult on foot. So I can only imagine horses and carriages laden down with the king's treasure, trying to get across these marshes, and of course all the time they're fighting the tide. The horse-drawn wagons moved too slowly for the incoming tide or flood tide, and most were lost, with only few men surviving. The king died a week later of dysentery, and he was succeeded to the throne by his 9-year-old son, Henry III. Standing as a beacon at the mouth of the River Nene is the Sir Peter Scott lighthouse. In 1933, the young Peter Scott came here looking for seclusion while deciding what to do with his life. Such beautiful light, but not only that, at the end of the River Nene, in fact I can actually say they are on the River Nene, just across from me over there on the far side is a colony of seals, grey seals. I can actually say that the River Nene has a colony of seals. I'm absolutely made up. Grey seals are the biggest land-breeding mammal in the United Kingdom. Around half of the global population of grey seals are found around the British coasts. Grey seal pups weigh only around 14 kilograms at birth. However, their mother's high-fat milk allows them to quickly bulk up and develop the blubber, which is essential for survival in the cold seawater. Mother and pup grey seals have a strong bond from birth. Mothers recognise their pup by their call and scent, and for the first few weeks of the pup's life, the mother will feed them around 6 times a day for up to 10 minutes at a time. The mother grey seals remain close to their infants during the first weeks of their life. They rarely feed for themselves during this period and lose up to a quarter of their own weight before the pup is ready to be weaned. Again, some absolutely fantastic footage of the grey seals. There's a colony of, there must be about 50 seals over there, and of course at the moment it's breeding season, so the seals, the mums, they come up and they give birth to their pups. After 18 days of looking after the pups and continuously feeding, the pups are left to fend for themselves. It's quite a harsh life, but I guess that's nature, isn't it? Grey seals breed from September to December around the British coasts. Females give birth to a single pup on a shore alongside hundreds, sometimes even thousands of other seals. Grey seals hunt alone at sea. Their large eyes allow them to see well in dark, murky waters. However, their highly sensitive ears are most important for locating prey. Even blind seals can easily catch prey. Grey seals are able to remain underwater for up to 16 minutes, although they normally tend to resurface after periods of around 5 to 10 minutes. As a mammal species, the grey seal is unable to breathe underwater. However, it is able to stay underwater for so long by slowing its heart rate to conserve oxygen. Grey seals can dive to depths of around 70 metres when searching for food. Grey seals' hands and feet are formed into webbed flippers. They use their strong rear flippers to propel themselves through the water while using their tail to steer. They also have powerful shoulders which enable them to haul themselves onto steep and slippery rocks. Oh. Wow. The light is just stunning. It's just a warm golden glow on the wet sands, just shimmering on the wet sands. And I've got light on the grasses. It's just wonderful. And I'm using a narrow channel that's flowing out into the river as my focal point, which is leading me into the picture. I have to say, coming to the point where the River Nene meets the sea at the Wash has been just as exciting and just as emotional to me as when I went and found the source of the River Nene 144 miles away near Daventry. And if anything, it probably gives me more affection for the river. It's quite amazing to see how many people rely on the River Nene. There's the Nene Valley where I live and where I sail Teasel. And then here you can see the docks, and in Wiz Beach there's the docks. You can see the big ships that sail up and down the Nene that use the Wash as the entrance to the North Sea. And you can see it's quite incredible how many people, how many industries actually rely on the river. And it's not just now, but in the past as well. I would say more so in the past. So it's quite a magical place, quite an amazing place, and a fantastic river, the 10th longest river, slowest flowing river, 144 miles long. I'm at the end of the River Nene. It's amazing. Wow, what a sight and sound. Amazing, can you hear them all behind me? What a sound. The Wash is beautifully remote. People have lived by the Wash for centuries, drawn here by fertile arable land, the bountiful seashore and fisheries. Land and sea continue to provide livelihoods for communities today.